Hi, coaches. All right, so a lot of you have been asking about Google Forms and how to use them, how to access them, and exactly how I use them for my coaching business. So I thought I would make a short tutorial to show you how to incorporate them in your business. So my home screen has Google Drive on the home screen, but all you have to do is just type in Google Forms and they will come up. And there's a couple of different ways to do them. You can start from scratch. You can choose a couple of templates. I believe that I started with contact information when I first started my forms. And it's pretty much up to you, what type of information you want to do on your forms. And, you can name your form whatever you want to name it. New challenger intake, and, do a description. Description, challenge, whatever that's going to be. Now, all of this information will be sent to you via email. So what I always do, because people sometimes will leave off their last name if you write just name. So I always write first name, or you can do first and last name. That way they don't, leave that off. Now, with these questions, you can change this. So, these can be short answer, paragraph, multiple choice to where they have to choose something, check boxes to where they check multiple items, drop down boxes, scale, grid, where they have to check off a date or a time. So, just different things there. Honestly, guys, I just played around with it. That's really how you do most things in life, right? Just kind of navigate through it and see what works best for you. All of my questions, I switch this required button to make them required so they have to answer them. There's not many questions that are optional besides the ending question. I just ask them if they have any additional questions for me. So the way I do my forms is, first name, and then I do last name. So for instance, this one, I'm just going to make a duplicate of this. That's what's easy for me. And then I'm going to do last name. All right. So, this says email. Now, there's different ways you can do this. This here, has one of the, a valid email address. This basically is going to tell the person that is completing the form, if they enter something that's not an email address, to enter a valid email address. And these three dots, this is where you can enter something like that. It's called response validation. I don't typically use that. You can, and then it's up to you what you want to use here. So it would be text, contains email address, and then you could type just what it said, please enter valid email address. And then that way, when they enter something that's on an email address, it will kick it back and make sure that you enter a valid email address. So that's how that works. Something else that you can add here is a description under the question if you want to, describe the question a little bit in more detail, but you don't have to enter either one of those things. If you want their address, I don't typically add this. Now, this is a very, very short form. Obviously, my forms are more, they're longer, they're more detailed. So let me go into a couple things. If you want to add some questions here, you just add a question, right? You can change this up. So to add a question, you can change, change it up to, a drop-down box, and you can add your question here, and you can just change it to, option 1, option 2, and I'm just pressing the tab key, option 3, If you mess up and you need to delete them, just delete them. I'm going to require it. If you need to delete that because you didn't mean to add that, you can delete it. It's so user-friendly. Now, it works just like Google Sheets and Google Docs. It changes everything in Drive as you go, as far as that goes. So, something else that it does is it will add a title. So let's say like I wanted to add a title before this comments bar. I am going to click here, and I want to, I don't even know, like just say I'm going to make a whole new section basically on nutrition. It's not really a section because there's another part that you can do on nutrition. And basically what it's going to do, like you just want to describe this a little more. Scribble. You're going to describe it a little more. It's just going to make it look different. So, here it doesn't look very different, but when you view it, so I'm just going to preview here, like see how that's different. It kind of divides it a little more. So I'm going to go back and edit that. I'll show you how I did that here in a minute. Something else on these that you can do is if you mess up and you want it to move, you can just pull that up. So you can like pull it here and move it around. Okay. Let's see what else. So you can add an image. Just go through, choose an image that you want to upload. Right here. And you can title it. You don't have to. You can align it if you want. You can resize it. It's very user friendly. Whatever it is you want to do. Okay. What else can we do? You can add a video. I believe it has to be from YouTube. Yeah, you have to use something from YouTube. I'll let you figure that out. And then sections. So sections, I like to use sections only if I have something that, this is hard to describe. I'll show you in one of my forms. Like I only like to use a section because it breaks it. If I have a question that is twofold, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So if I'm asking, do you have a Team Beachbody account? And they're saying yes, no. So if they have a Team Beachbody account, that's great. They can move on. If they don't have a Team Beachbody account, I want them to go ahead and create one. So in that case, let's say I'm going to ask that here. Do you have an account? And I want this to be multiple choice. Yes. No. And let's say, that they said no. So watch this. This is the magic of it, okay? You can hit go to section based on answer. So if they hit yes, I want them to continue to the next section. No, I don't. I want them to go to section 2. Hold on, I got to think about this. No, I want them to submit their form because they're done. Now, if they're no, I want them to create an account. So I want them to go to the next section, which is going to be create an account. Okay, and so then I would walk them through the process of creating their account. Hopefully that makes sense. So if they, and this is just an example of what you could do. So what that's going to look like when you preview, what the form would look like, you take them through it. Oh, it's going to make me fill this out. So let's say I don't have an account. So it's going to make you hit next. So don't have an account, create your account. See what I mean? And so if I hit back and then I have, yes, I have an account, next, it's going to say submit your form. So that's what I like about that part of it. All right, so here's, like, say you have your form finished and you get responses, right? You get responses. So here's what I really, really, really like about it. You can have some add-ons, and I like the email notification forms. So this is the add-on that you get called email notification forms. And I believe, how do you get add-ons? I have totally forgotten. Add-ons here. You'll search for add-ons here. You'll just click there and search for the add-on called email notifications for forms. Okay. And so I'm going to click on that and I'm going to create email notification. And then I'm going to enter my name. Whoops. And then it's already got my email there in all these places. I do not notify the submitter because all it does is give them everything they put in the form and they get confused. Then I'm going to hit continue. And it says a new response. And I always put the form that it is so that I don't get confused because I do have other forms. And then I keep all that the same because it just gives me their answers. And then I hit continue and then create rule. All right, it just tells me, do you want to upgrade? And no, thanks. All right, and then other things you can do is you can change the color, you know, of anything on here. You can also create your own. I do that just because I like to create my own graphics in Canva. If you do that, it is 800 by 200 in Canva, or 200 by 800, whatever. It's 200 by 800 something, either way. And so I always create my own stuff there. All right, and so then you can preview here. And that's what it's going to look like for them. So now that we're done, you can change the settings to make sure that everything looks good here. So now if you limit it to one response, they have to sign into Google. So that means they have to have a Gmail account. I don't do that because, you know, some people don't have a Gmail account. You can have them edit it after they submit it. I don't do that. See summary charts and text responses. I don't do that either. Collect email addresses. I don't do that. It's up to you if you want to do that. Now, I do usually do the confirmation message. Thanks for submitting your contact info. I usually just do something, thank you for submitting your form. I'll be in touch shortly. Like I'll email you shortly, whatever. And then just hit save. And then to send it, there's a couple ways you can do that. You can send it through email here. And obviously you just, you send it to their email, subject message, and then include the form. Okay, you can do it that way. I always usually grab the link here, copy it, and then send it in my own email. That's just how I like to do because I use Streak and I can track it to see if they viewed the email. That's just my personal preference. I'm going to copy it here. And then obviously if you have a website, you can, upload it to your website and embed it there. And then I think that's all I do. Yeah, the rest you can kind of see. So let's see here. And you can look in our Coach Drive to see how I format some of my forms. I mean, I have a form for everything. So I'm going to come over here in my email. I'm just looking at one of my customers in her streak. So here is what it's going to look like. When, a new customer comes in, I have them fill out a new challenger form. Okay, so I'm going to just look at her email so I can find this quickly. Her challenge. That's it. Okay, so I have them fill a form. Now, if you don't do the, oh goodness, if you don't do this add-on, the email notifications, you will not get notified of this. Okay, so it's very important to do this. If not, all these forms are going to come in and you are going to have zero clue about it. So you get all this information. Make sure you include anything and everything you want to know. All right, so I have all of her contact information. And then I typically ask them, how do you want to be contacted? She says all of the above. I want to converse with them through email. So if they tell me I want you to contact me by cell phone or by Facebook Messenger, I will message them or text them and say, hey, I sent you an email. And then that lets them know that I'm going to be conversing with them through email. And then I ask them why you're doing this challenge. And she says, I can literally copy this and paste it into her goals, into her notes. Have you watched the My Challenge tracker? Yes. Have you downloaded it? No. Okay. Then I need to email her. It's like, okay, are you having trouble finding it? Do you need any help? Are you willing to commit to reading personal development? Yes. She's going to be listening. She wants me to send her the audiobook. I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this information helps me to be a better coach. Do you know how to access the workout from your calendar? No. Okay. Then I need to do, I need to help her. She's going to work out at 5 a.m. All of this is in here, and I can look at all of it and, transfer it over. I always ask them questions about them. That way, say she loses 10 pounds. I know her favorite color is turquoise, and I can pick something up and send it in the mail for her. Something else is, I send out just not weekly. I usually do it every 2 weeks. Their check-ins and, kind of see. So, rate your week. Nutrition needs work. Workouts, okay. Water, okay. Sleep, good. Mindset, okay. So, I need to send her an email. What's going on? Why is nutrition okay? You're not going to get the results that you need. These forms are gold to me. I don't have to sit there on email back and forth. I can ask every single one of these questions one time through a form and figure out what's going on and get deeper, in-depth answers than what I would get in either Facebook Messenger or email. And so, I always, what week are you on the schedule? Letting them know you need to stick to a schedule. Are you doing personal development? No. Well, that's why your mindset is not where it needs to be. So I hope this helps, in determining whether or not you need to do forms in your business. I think it's a more professional feel. It helps you stay on track as a coach. So if you have questions about it, let me know. I am more than happy to help you.